instruction teaching from the Orgyen Menla, which is the essential teaching of the great teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni, Padma Samye Ling, and as well as all the great masters who are following the footsteps of the great teacher of the Buddha Shakyamuni and all the lineage masters. In their voice, in their wisdoms, in their compassions, we are trying to also brighten up our practice, our journey in our path. And for that very reason, we have these opportunities and the situation and circumstances. So therefore, again, we're going to reactivate our joy and appreciation, and as well as bodhicitta and the purity realization of the way reality all these phenomena are, and which is in the Vajrayana teaching, and as well as all the great masters often mentioned is already enlightened status, all three Vajra status. So activating those, or at least then opening our kind of mind and heart toward that, not completely closed, that is very important for the practitioners. And with that, we followed again in the teachings. And the teaching is then, again, we can look to this teaching, but as I said, I'm going and I'm putting all the teachings, all the practices, as all the great masters of the practice lineage, all the Jonma masters, I'm trying to do that way, I'm following that, so as much as I can, which is three nobles, and which also encompass as three essential of the practices. If we have these three nobility, every practice counts. Our practice, meditation, comes everything perfect for the purpose to get enlightenment, to benefit all the living beings. This again, to get enlightenment, benefit all the sentient beings, it looks like a very long journey to help or benefit the sentient beings. That is not the case. We are going to help and benefit for all the living beings right now with our motivation, with our intention. That is what known as the bodhicittas. Right now, we are going to really help and support to all the beings. And now, again, as I said yesterday, this motivation is the foundation, as in the teaching said, is the foundation, and that some degree we also experience ourselves. Everything what we do, we don't do without anything. We do with our intention, with thought. Everything what we do, whether we are doing by the body or whether we are verbally talking, is all initiated from our mind. That this invisible mind or emptiness mind is instrumental to direct our every activities. Ask yourself or ask ourselves, is true or not? That's the gracious teacher Buddha said. It's true. We don't do anything blindly or without our thought. Everything is really performed with mind. Therefore, to activate our mind and reset our mind on the right direction, that is the beginning of the path, the journey to the enlightenment and the journey to benefit, helping to all living beings by compassion. That is what. So therefore, I also discussed a little bit yesterday about that motivation. First is joy and appreciation. I discussed a little bit, and again, of course, we can discuss those things in the later as it comes in the teaching. That. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about the bodhicitta. Now we talk the bodhicitta. Again, what is bodhicitta? Bodhicitta is mind. Bodhicitta is Sanskrit word. In Tibet, it translated ancient time, those great translators, emanated translators. They are not regular translators, trying to struggle, trying to put the word in all those things, trying to put back in the, actually kind of playing the jigsaw puzzles. They are not. Ancient those great translators, such as Vajra Kawa Parse, Choro Le Japsi, Yeshe, all those who came in the 8th century as the disciple of the Guru Padma Samye, great abbot, Shantarakshita, or the Bodhisattva Shantarakshita, and conscious of their things like under the sponsorship or patronship, who gathered that. They really emanated translators. They translated perfectly all the teachings within that short period, which means less than 100 years. Complete the body of the entirely teaching of the Buddha is a whole completely kind of transferred in the language of Tibet, that which is kind of maybe according to his story developed just 100 years ago, 100 years before. Structural, the way they translate it, the way they put them words, it can be imagined even throughout the centuries, modern time too. Really carry the exact meaning of the word, meaning of the teaching into the Tibetan foreign language that time. Language perfectly. They're not just also scholars as been. They're great practitioners. The teaching absorbed and completely heart in their minds. They burst with love and kindness and compassion for all living beings. They're down to the earth, humble and simple, with full of common sense, and full of knowledge, caring and concerning and respecting to all living beings. That's what these great emanated translators. They translated this Bodhichitta of the Sanskrit word into Tibet. Jangchop Sin. Jangchop Sin. This Jangchop Sin or the Bodhichitta, of course, popularly used that terminology of Sanskrit language in the Western English. It translated in English, it translated mind of the Buddha, or mind of enlightenment. Mind of enlightenment. So that means what? Bodhi is enlightenment, and Chitta is the mind. Mind of enlightenment, or mind of the Buddha. So that is what I'm going to talk today and remind it to all of us. You all know this word. You all receive this teaching, including myself. It's nothing again new I'm talking. But we are, again, as I said many times, we are friendly reminding to each other that our principle, our treasure, our beauty. This Bodhichitta is the essential teaching of the greatest teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni. Entirely teaching of the Buddha Shakyamuni is based upon Bodhichitta. Because Buddha teaching is teaching of non-violence, teaching of peace, teaching of the harmony. This teaching of peace and harmony, non-violence, is not just only selected group, small group. For all the beings, every beings, they are longing to have peace and calm, peaceful fulfillment. Really, everyone is longing. So that is what really, this teaching is completely on that. That is what is. So therefore, entirely Buddha teaching, the 45 years of teaching of the greatest teacher, kindness teacher, compassion teacher, Buddha taught the teaching that is based upon this, the Bodhichitta. Then, in the Mahayana teaching, it is intensified that Bodhichitta, that kindness thought, very intensified. They highlight it in the teaching. Because, again, in order to reach enlightenment, in order to benefit for all living beings, as the gracious teacher, Buddha said, we have to activate our bodhicitta. And bodhicitta is like precious jewel. What great, again, master, Shantideva, said in his teachings, bodhicitta is like warriors. When you have that bodhicitta, can defeat it, all the obstacles and negatives, the negatives. Bodhicitta is like wish-fulfilling jewels. It will fulfill all the wishes for us, for our own self, for other beings. How long? Until everyone reaches enlightenment. So it's everlasting wish-fulfilling jewels. That's this great Master Shantideva said. Bodhicitta is like acumen techniques. That the acumen technique, according to ancient time in the teaching said, will change. That acumen change, small amount of the acumen will change the huge iron into gold. This is like acumen. It will change this deluded, obscure duality mind completely as enlightened status. And Bodhicitta, this great master said, Bodhicitta is like sailor or captain, that it will take everyone to the other shores, save haven. Everyone saved everyone. And a Bodhicitta is like fire of the end of the eons, or the volcano fires, that both will burn instantly all negativities and obstacles. So therefore, what this gracious master Shantideva said, for that reason, everyone must be cherished and uphold this precious, the unique nature and beauty. That is Bodhicitta. This Bodhicitta is not just only have the select group has. We all have that. Every living being has this inherited. Only what we have to do. We have to activate it with recognitions. We have to acknowledge ourselves. So now, what is that Bodhicitta? What is that Bodhicitta? What is the nature or identity of that Bodhicitta? In the teaching said, Bodhicitta is loving kindness, compassion with that thought. Compassion, loving kindness, compassion thought for all living beings. With that intention, I like to get enlightenment. I like to discover my own nature. And for that reason, I'm going to also take care of Bodhicitta. Whatever the obstacle may interfere of my Bodhicitta, I'm going to avoid. I'm not going to go under those interference of the obstacles. That is the Bodhicitta. So now that way again, to simplify, Bodhicitta is loving kindness, Bodhicitta is compassion, and Bodhicitta is wisdom. Wisdom. As I said yesterday, what great master, great teacher, Guru Padma Samye said, these three are the mind of Buddha. That is Buddha. Actually Buddha, what is Buddha? The enlightened being. This love, the compassion, wisdom, these are really Buddha. This is Buddha. So where is that love and compassion, wisdom? Is within our nature of the mind. Within your nature of the mind, and within the nature of my mind too. We all have this. Now we have to activate this. This present time, this nature of the mind of Bodhicitta, or loving kindness and compassion, wisdom is shadowed, overcast by all our habit patterns, or they diluted this, which is known as obscurations. Obscurations. Obscurations is also nothing but is our mind. So now we have to use power of the knowledge, and it is identity of our own quality or natural quality of the mind, going to defeat in a clean way our own mind's impurity. This is similar using the technique as homeopathic techniques. Using what in the teaching said, fire will stop the fire, iron will cut iron. The mind will overcome the mind. We don't have to look situation and circumstances, other conditions from outside. It's more powerful, more effective, more practical. Therefore, we have to activate this beautiful intention, which is now the Bodhichitta. Again, loving kindness, compassion. Why we need love and compassion? First of all, love and compassion, as I said already, is nature of the mind. Nature of the mind. And negative emotions are not nature of the mind, according to the teaching of the Buddhas and all the great masters. They are obscurations. They're not nature of the mind. Loving kindness, compassion are nature of the mind. It's all the nature of our mind. It's the Buddha nature, wisdom and compassion. So it's our nature. When we touch, therefore, when we touch with our nature, also what it does, it brings ourselves more calm, peaceful, happiness. Because the nature is authentic nature. When we touch the unnatural quality of the mind, and then what it brings? Suffering, sadness, stressful, anxiety, worry. Then, and when it becomes stronger, anger, jealousy, hatred thoughts, all those are coming. What it does, when we feel that, when we have that, how we feel? We're sad, we're suffering, we're closed, we feel lonely, we feel desperate, we're isolated. Isolated because it's unnatural. Unnatural pollution is like pollution created entirely our environment of the beautiful mental status. But is that creation is nothing but our own creations. Maybe somebody that created that consequence externally, but fundamentally, really it's activated by our own self, according to Buddha's teaching. So therefore, this loving kindness, compassion is we're touching to the nature, our essence. And that how we can touch this. Again, in the teaching said, love and compassion. You should feel love and compassion to all the living beings. Everyone what they want, be happy. They want to be peace. They will be comfortable and relax, calm. Everyone. But yet, no one is achieving that goal completely. Always struggling. Always like kind of looks like climbing up the sand mountains. Few steps goes up and few steps goes down. That is going on and on for a long time. According to the great teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni, we've been doing that since the beginners' times. And always we challenge and cross by between hope and fears, one after another. We're hoping something, but then something always fears, interferences, one after another. So that is really how the situation is of the almost every living beings are. That for that very reason, then in the teaching it said, feel great compassion. All these living beings, we have all the similar intention, similar desire, similar wishes. Therefore, feel love and compassion. When we do that in our heart and mind, what are we doing? we're revealing our rich treasure of the nature of the mind. The treasure of the nature of the mind is infinite, endless. When you reveal more love, it will come more love and more compassion. The result will be more joy, more peaceful, more harmonious, more friendships. And we want more friends. And we like to surround many friends. We should increase the more loving kindness and compassion. Or we should activate a bodhichitta. It will bring more friends, more friendships, more fulfillment. Really. All that. So this is what really, therefore, we, in the teaching say, we should really feel more love and kindness and compassion. Plus, in the Buddha teaching, of course, you all know. No. There is all the living beings being our parent. Everyone. Since the beginningless time, we came in this samsara. Always we need parents. And of course, in the Buddha teaching mentioned, there is 4 different ways that we take the birth in these samsaras. Those are the 4 births. Miraculous birth, or the instant birth, egg birth, womb birth, W-O-M-B, I believe, womb birth, and then moisture birth, N-O-I-S-T-U-R, T-U-R-E, moisture birth. And what are those? Instant births are in the Buddha teaching mentioned happening in the hell realms and God's realms. And maybe, not maybe, in also sometimes in the Pardo states. Those are known as instant births. But God's realm, hell realm, Pardos are, we don't see ourselves. Human are, we don't have capability to see that. Maybe certain people have the capability or some of that, but otherwise we won't see. But it is there, according. Then, womb birth is human birth. Most of the time, and as well as animals are womb births, many of animals. And then moisture births are also animals. So many insects are born according to Buddhism, moistures, births. Moisture. So that's it. Egg birth is also many times is like such as animals. All those many animals, egg birds. Those are known as. So even there is 4 different ways to take the birth, but the egg birth as well as womb birth need parent most of the time. Parent. And so therefore, in the teaching said, how many times we talk birth in this samsara from the beginner's time? Great Master Nagarjuna said, if we put all this whole earth of the world as like clay and trying to put the rolled small earth or earth like as like clay, from that clay we started rolling the clay as a size of the juniper seed. If you try to make the pills as size of the juniper seed from the clay of the entire earth, still the clay of earth is not enough to put the number of our lifetimes that we talk in this world and had the parents. Still is not enough. It's short. Then can you imagine how many times we talk the birth in this world? Most of that time, the parents are kind. They kept us, nourished us, protected us, give the birth and so forth. Really, they're so kind. They help and support. They're the best. They're best. They're not enlightened beings. Sometimes they make mistakes. But nevertheless, they did their best to their children, their loved ones. All the parents look to the animals, how much they're working for their babies. Every capabilities, whatever they have, they're spending time, capability to provide their food and making nest. And then human world too. I mean, this is just everything. It's not just really one time. Every time like that. So therefore, in Buddhism, of course, you know these things. I'm not talking something new things. Therefore, now I've got some kind of knowledge and wisdom shining in my heart and Bodhichitta. For that very reason, I'm going to really help to all these living beings. I'm going to remove their suffering, the difficulty, troubles. I'm going to help and support to ignite their Buddha nature. So they can be benefited and well equipped to go through the samsara in the world, and not just to go through the samsara well equipped, but get enlightened, totally free from all the troubles, these challenges. Therefore, I'm going to really develop the Bodhichitta. And I'm going to have the more equipped to help to all the sentient beings. For that reason, I'm going to get enlightenment. When we have to get enlightenment, when you become the Buddha, you have more capability. Or when you have become the great Bodhisattva, we have more capability and more tools where to help. Because our wisdom is more stronger, more shining, our more skillful means, more techniques, the capabilities to bring our loving kindness, compassion into the action. That time I'm more powerful, more strong. For that reason, that I'm going to get enlightenment. For that reason, what in the teaching said, by compassion, you're projecting for all the living beings. By wisdom, you're projected to get enlightenment. And combined together, wisdom and compassion goes together as like inseparable, as which is sometimes named skillful means and wisdom. Combined together, that individually will go fly very high and defeated all the obstacles in the path, in the peaceful manners. And truly, they will become the winner of the samsaras. And that's what in the teaching often said, the warriors, conquerors. Name of the greatest teacher Buddha has many different names. Conquerors, Tathagatas, Das-Goms, or whatever. And then as well as conquerors. What means conquerors? It's not a conqueror that who defeated the one. Commonly in the samsara we think, oh, I defeated the enemies. But this enemy is the obscurations. Negative emotions are obscurations. They're not just obstacles, like obstacles for a short time, but they've been obstacles for us for the biggest times. For a long time. They're constantly making obstacles. Not just 1 day, 2 days, or a few hours, or once in a while. They are constantly obstacles. But that is defeated by the power of the Bodhichitta. Therefore, they are known as conquerors, Jaras, in Tibet. So that is really the Bodhichitta. Now this Bodhichitta, where you develop Bodhichitta, where we develop the Bodhichitta, those are known as, then there is a few different kind of divisions. I again highlight those divisions. And there is first 3 Bodhichattas. And that 3 Bodhicitta accord in the intention, courage, and the willingness of the practitioners of the Bodhi, Bodhichattas. More generally, again, I should say that when you take the Bodhichitta vows, with the understanding and the significance and benefit of the Bodhichitta, and then there is, you can take the vows. You receive the vows from the lineage masters. lineage master who hold Bodhichitta vows. Oh, who is Bodhichitta vow? Not just hold, also who practice that. Practicing the holder of the lineage of the Bodhichitta should receive Bodhichitta vows. If situation and circumstance allow that. Even if it is not happening immediately, still, then we should practice this. When the moment we develop that attitude of Bodhichitta, what I said to you, and what you, of course you already know, that time, what in the teaching said, that individually name is changed. That moment, that individually is known as Bodhisattvas. Bodhisattvas. And that is a Sanskrit word. And how that translated into Tibet? Sancho Sampha. And if it translated as in English, courageous ones for the enlightenment. That is the Bodhisattvas. Bodhi is enlightenment, Sattva means courageous ones. Now maybe you wonder why we need courageous. Courage we need it because we are going to benefit for all living beings. We are going to reverse our attitude of the way we think until now, from the beginner's times. From the beginner's time until now, what our attitudes? Always thinking to one's own self. One's own self or one's kind of relatives and belongings. That is known as kind of self-centered mind, according Mahayana teachings. Self-centered mind. That we normally think all the time. And every sentient being is thinking. But that didn't achieve the goal, what really we want. Always struggling. Always just fears. And all that goes on and on. That didn't change. So now when we develop the Bodhichitta in our heart, that moment we reverse that attitude or intention from our heart. We thinking sentient beings, all others are more important than even ourselves. Sometimes. And that is known as that, therefore, is courageous ones. The courageous ones, not the timid ones. Timid. Self-centered mind makes more timidness, more shrink our attitude. And our views become more closed, more tight. When you have the Bodhichitta, it's broad. Our heart is open as like skies. Our mind is open as like spaces. And as far as our mind and heart opens, that far, loving kindness, compassion, wisdom shines freely every living being. That's what is called courageous ones. How long they're going to shine? Not just only short time, but until every living being reach enlightenment. Until that long is going to shine and is going to brighten up that. For that reason, courageous ones. And during that time, even your heart is open and Bodhichitta is so open and flowing every direction, yet all the sentient beings are not necessarily going to immediately accept those situations. Therefore, we're not going to feel timid, disappointed. Our love and compassion is unconditional love, unconditional compassion, not expecting something return, or not expecting something kind of acknowledgement. It's forever. As like open sky, as like sun. Sunshine every direction. Even if nobody say thank you or how nice, know that it shines, it clear, brilliant. Sky is open, air is blowing, the earth is strong, remain as like whatever it is. Like that, the compassion, Bodhichitta remains. Therefore, it is known as courageous ones for the enlightenment. So that is now really Bodhichitta. Once we develop that Bodhichitta, or when we said, then according to the attitude of the individualist, there is three bodhisattvas. or Bodhichattas. Those are, again, of course, you all know this, but I'm going to list that names. And king like Bodhichitta, sailor like Bodhichitta, and a shepherd like Bodhichitta. King like Bodhichitta, sailor like Bodhichitta. The king like, I think I'm sure you know that, but sailor, S-A-I-L-O-R, sailor. Sailor like Bodhichitta. Then the shepherd, I think you understand what I'm talking. Shepherd, S-H-E-R-P-P, maybe E-R-D, shepherd like Bodhichitta. Those are the different kind of how those individuals develop the bodhichattas. And what that now, these examples, what those mean? The teaching said, king like bodhicitta, those some bodhisattvas, their intention is, I like to benefit, help for all the sentient beings, but first I'm going to get enlightenment, then I'm going to help. That didn't mean not going to help to anyone, but they're kind of a little bit projecting a little bit more to get enlightenment first and then going to benefit and help for the sentient beings. So that is known as king like bodhicitta. And what that means? Again, it said the kings, generally king or the queens, when those people in the royal palace, first they have to be comfortable. They have to be settled, comfortable, and well kind of equipped. Once that happens, then they're going to help to the subjects. So that uses the example of as like king like bodhichattas. Those are the king like bodhichattas. Sailor like bodhichattas. I like to help for all the sentient beings. I like to get enlightenment. But at the same time, I like to help to all the sentient beings. So I and all together, I like to get enlightenment. The enlightenment. And that is a sailor like bodhicitta. Why? Again, in the example, for example, when a sailor takes us in their boat, sailor, him or herself, well, also in the boat, and there also is taking us or the travel passengers also in the boat, and together they went to other shore. So those are named or exampled as sailor like bodhichattas. And now the next one, third one, is a shepherd like bodhichitta. Shepherd, how shepherd does in the teaching said, and of course we all know that. Shepherd goes after the animals. And first the shepherd will put animals on the grassland, nice safe places, nice area. There is no kind of like all those wild beasts will disturb the animals. So it puts kind of nice area, looking safe, put in safe places, and then shepherd him or herself finally going to rest. Rest is sit down on the ground. And similarly, these bodhichattas or the bodhisattvas, they like to get everyone get enlightenment before they get enlightenment. And so for that reason, use the examples of as shepherd like bodhichattas. Those are the different kind of willingness and attitude, how those individuals, what those great bodhisattva individual intention they carry, and that kind of measured with those different terminologies to highlight. But everyone, doesn't matter what, every bodhisattvas and bodhisattvas, I have the bodhicitta, and to benefit all the sentient beings, to every living being. When the moment we have the bodhicitta, and what those are known as bodhisattva, all other names in the Buddha's teaching, in Mahayana teaching, many times said noble son and noble daughters. They become the noble. We all become nobles moment we develop the bodhicitta in our heart. Before that, we are ordinary. But now we are become the noble because we touched our noble of loving kindness, compassion, and wisdom that is begin to shine. shine, benefit to ourselves, benefit to all the beings. Therefore, it is also named noble son, noble daughters. So that is again really about the Bodhichitta, and then again I will continually go over this meaning, and which is really so important. Bodhichitta is entirely Buddha teaching is based upon Bodhichitta, but then particularly the Mahayana teaching, Vajrayana teaching is based absolutely on the Bodhichitta. And for that reason, what is in the teaching said, that if you have one practices, that will be enough to get enlightenment and benefit all the living beings. That is Bodhichitta. If we don't have one thing, which is Bodhichitta, if we don't have that, no matter whatever teaching you have, whatever practice you do, all the practices are become based upon more kind of self-important best practices. It won't go far, and it really won't walk what we think it should do. And for example, receive teaching of the Dzogchen or the Mahamudra teaching, it won't walk according to the teachings. Therefore, to make everything blended in perfectly, beautifully, all practice goes perfectly, that is Bodhichitta. Bodhichitta is, if you use the examples of the modern time, Bodhichitta is launch pad of spaceships. Launch pad. And Bodhichitta is fuel for the spaceships. Without this, we won't go any further. And all, again, in essence, teaching said, it's all kind of mostly based of the kind of with the self-important things. It won't go far. And that is my talk for today, and thank you very much again for participating, and thank you so much everyone for participating. Thank you. Now we do again short meditation.